Hello and welcome to Collector's Gonna Collect. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about something super exciting, which is basically my 351 and counting doll and toy collection room tour. So I've never done a tour before of my whole room. Obviously, you've seen like different shelves. If you've been watching my videos, you've seen different areas, but I never have done just sort of a tour of the whole room. It's also my office, so I'm not going to be showing my desk and stuff like that, but it'll give you more of a feel of the room, and so that you can see kind of what it's like. There is a cat in here as well. You can see how crowded everything is, and I hope you're gonna like it. Even though some of it will be repeats of other videos. So I'm gonna start, how am I gonna start? I'm gonna start, maybe I'll just go like all the way around first. So this is a closet door, this, which is being painted, it's not even, anyway. This is some shelves, okay, so there's my desk. I'm not gonna show you the mess there. I have a cabinet here. There's the cat. There's a window. I've got my little guys there in the middle in their case. I've got a bookcase here. I've got my Blythe dolls on their shelf here. And then I have a couch, and you can see my notebook there. And then we're back over here. You weren't supposed to see the heater. Okay, so some things that I haven't made videos about yet. This is my Little Ponies. I actually have more than this, and I just moved them up here to the top. They weren't on the top before, they were on a different shelf. And so, but I find My Little Ponies are actually really hard to pose. Like, these are good because they're all in the same pose with their head looking one way, and these ones all have their head looking that way or whatever. And then these ones are kind of straight. This one is doing its own thing. Anyways, this is just kind of like a selection of My Little Ponies, which I will do a separate video for. A lot, when you're making like a doll room, and I'm not here to give advice really, but you need a lot of places to put things. And some people just like get a whole bunch of glass cases from IKEA, and they just, you know, okay, that's the garbage that you're not supposed to see either. But I really liked this cabinet, like getting like interesting pieces for cheap and then like repainting them. So I painted this blue, and then I painted the decorations white to give it kind of a, I really don't know what that kind of porcelain is called. But anyways, the blue and white was something I really liked. And so, and in here, I keep like extra doll stuff, doll clothes, and stuff like that. So it's nice to like not just put shelves, like this is shelves, but I did try to dress them up with like a cool thing on the side. But you know, it's only so exciting on its own. Whereas if you've got kind of a piece, and I liked that this was like a corner one too. I don't know, I just think it's an more interesting way to display your stuff. So back here, I have my collection of nesting dolls, but you can sort of see I haven't done their own video yet, although I plan to. These are my rubber squeak dolls that I have already done a video of. I'm not really going to show this middle shelf because it's not really toys, although I do collect ceramics, so we're just going to kind of zoom by those guys. And then I have all of my Mochi cheese here. Some may not have been, oh, this is just like a random there. Some may have been, of these Mochi cheese have been already in a video. Some are newer. And then I've got a little lava lamp, which I almost never put on. Oh my God, the water is a weird color. But anyways, and then up here, so it's hard, like this shelf, I would say, is basically now full. And what happens is that like sometimes because the shelf is full, I won't collect any more of it because I'm like, if I get another Bradley doll, well, I mean, I suppose I could put one in the middle here, and these two little ones could be sort of like put in between. But after that one, there's nowhere to put them. And like, you do have to live in reality. Like, if there's nowhere to put the toys that you're buying, then you're really setting yourself up for misery, because you'll buy things and maybe they'll be expensive and then there won't be anywhere to put them. So I do try to limit myself to what I can put on a shelf. Or, you know, knowing that I'm going to reorganize the room and do something that will give it enough space, because if you don't do that, then you're making a mess. Anyway, so these are my Bradley dolls, which I have done a video about. These are my lovelies, my Pulip dolls. So I just actually rearranged these. It's not easy because, I mean, this shelf has only so much space. And then if you put, like, let's say this doll was directly in front of this one, you would barely be able to see her face. So I do have these ones in the back are on like a little stand thing that makes them higher. I bought those on like Amazon or whatever, but it's not easy. Like, I actually like the way these are arranged right now, but this one, when she sits, she tends to fall. They both tend to fall down. Maybe there's something I could like put on their butts to like make them stay. This one is sitting on a chair, which is good because she really doesn't want to sit. And some of them with these gorgeous dresses, I don't want them to be sitting. I do feel like it like kind of like it's like I'm downvoting them. Like, okay, you're not important enough to get like a stand-up situation. But I mean, if these two were standing up, then these two would be blocked. She has a very big head thing. She's a new doll. So like, it's just, yeah. So anyways, I'm glad. I like the way they look right now. There is some space, you know, if I put one sitting here or here to get a couple more. And then if I got any more than that, I would have to start rethinking things. Oh, so here you can see my lovely wallpaper that is not, so I bought this wallpaper on Etsy. Did I put it up perfectly? No, but this wallpaper actually ended up being really bad. Like, it's the sticky kind, but it starts peeling off. Like, I'm just like really pissed off about it. I really like the pattern. If you look from far, you can't really notice, but, and then there's the fact that over here, when I put up my Blythe doll displays, it really is blocking most of this wallpaper, which is probably good because it's peeling behind there. But anyway, I'm not happy. Really do your research when you're buying wallpaper. Okay, and then down here, okay, am I gonna crouch? Okay, I'm just gonna lean down. So this is my, I tend to think of this as my plastic or rubber doll. Yeah, I'm just moving my notebook. My plastic or rubber doll shelf. And I really like how it's displayed right now. I took out some dolls that I didn't like as much. I'm kind of layering, so you can see like there's Barbies back there because they're quite tall. A lot of the other dolls are all sitting because they're even taller. And having a shelf that large, actually, it just causes problems because it's just such a large space if these are standing up, and it kind of like overshadows the other shelves and it causes problems. But so yeah, so like I like to sort of like the dolls that have darker skin, I don't want to bunch them all together. Like I try to like put different dolls in between and like vary the color so that everyone who's wearing red isn't all in like one section and stuff like that. So I really like to work on like displaying them. For example, like these Nomi guys, I don't know if they're gnomes or elves or I don't know what, but and this butterfly girl, I just only recently moved to this shelf, but I think they're working there. I think it works. So yeah, and then we go further down. Okay, I am gonna have to sit for this one. Sorry about that. So then I've got, so standing up here, I've got a beautiful lady who is sort of like a, at one point I had her name. I don't remember. But anyways, there she is. She is actually, she doesn't sit well. Her legs go really, really far apart when you sit, and it's not great. And she's tall, like her upper body is tall, and it was messing up the shelf. So I let her stand by herself. I love her outfit. Like, oh my God. Anyway, then I've got my I think they're called Once Upon a Time dolls. I hope I didn't get that wrong. Anyways, there's them. I've got some, so this is like basically my modern shelf. So these are all, yeah, like Barbie or other type dolls of the now. They're not vintage. So yeah, so Once Upon a Time dolls. Then I've got my Day of the Dead Barbies, So I've got 2 ladies and a guy, and then I've got 3 rainbow high dolls or shadow high dolls, just because those were 3 I really liked, and I didn't want to give myself too much space to actually start collecting those, because that could get out of control real fast. I've got a Harry Potter, I've got a Lika doll, and this is actually a Barbie that is dressed as a unicorn. It's one of those like surprise box things. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm called. This is just about a room tour. I didn't do that much research. Okay, so I'm standing up now, and I'm gonna back it up. So this is the door into the room, and then, so anyone who has watched my Blythe doll videos knows these 2 areas very well. This is my 2 Blythe doll houses, I guess you could call them, and this is where they live, and there they are. It's not all of them because I decided to put purses here. There's nowhere else to put them. So anyway, and I got my 2 middies there, and then all of these girls here, and then I'll show you the rest. So like, then I've got a bookcase here, and here, like sort of extending this way, I have more Blythe dolls. So there's space. I could have more sitting here. I could move other things around. I'm not going to stop collecting Blythe dolls because it is my main collection. So I'm sure things are going to get crazier as time goes on. But yeah, so this is the bookcase, which someone like refurbished it or whatever, and like repainted it and put wallpaper at the back, which is very nice. Found it on Facebook Marketplace, was very excited. And so this is my sort of taller vintage doll collection. Then we've got the Blythe dolls. And then, so these guys used to be displayed differently, and you can't see all of the dolls, and that's kind of upsetting, but I just kind of needed to consolidate them into one vintage/antique doll shelf. So there they are. And yeah, I don't love it, but I also do. I don't know. I like just looking at them all at once in one glance. That's kind of cool. But you know, some of these dolls on the side you can barely see. And this one looks like she's about to fall down, and you can't really see their clothes. So, you know, it sucks. Maybe I'm gonna like rotate so that so that different ones get to be at the front and I get to see them more. And yeah. And here's my cat Butter. Hi, baby. He wants attention. Okay, so then it becomes a problem. So like, look, so unless, depending on what kind of room you have, you can see how this shelf, and this shelf even more, you can barely see. And I hate that. But this couch, I'll show you the couch. Hi, baby. The couch had to go somewhere. And like, that's the door. Like, there's not a lot of space. So I had to put, and so yeah, they're blocked. But I try not to get too upset about it. I can always take them out if I want to see them. So I've got all my Hello Kitty stuff. This is kind of like the Japanese stuffy shelf. And this guy, there wasn't enough room for him. So I'm trying to figure it out. There's the other one that's the same, different color, but the same brand. Anyway, and then down here, some things that are in boxes that I didn't want to open. Some of my toys from childhood. This got some Blythe doll clothes in them, little things. I mean, obviously you can't see. So it's stuff that I'm not too upset that you can't see, basically. This is a new Rainbow Bright Moon Glow that my husband got me for my birthday. All right, so then we have this table. Its legs are actually like a sewing machine. You can see here a shelf that I'm gonna put up at some point. So yeah, so I've got a table, and that's how I decided to make use of this area. So there's the window, and then, so I could have put maybe another bookcase here. I could put something else this way, like with shelves, but I decided to use this for now because I already had it. So I've got my Hug-a-Bunches down there. I've got my Wonder Whim. I've got my Madame Alexander Sissy dolls. This I got in Japan. And then there's my little itty bitty collection, which has gotten a lot of additions lately. So I'm not gonna like show anything too closely, but if you've seen my other video, this is much more crowded than it used to be. And then I've got some more plastic dolls. I just liked that these two, the way they're dressed, they match a lot. These two are like a Girl Guide doll and like a Brownies doll, which is kind of like, if anyone's American, that's like Girl Scouts. And yeah, so these lovely dolls here, which are taller. She's very tall. 21, 22, 24 inches. I don't know. So that's very tall. I'm actually thinking that these ones, I'm going to use the shelf and at least maybe put some shelves and like the tall dolls can like be going downward. I don't know. So yeah, then over here in this corner, so I've got my Cabbage Patch Kids up here. The cats, what the cats do is, here's my desk. So like the desk, they jump from the desk onto here, they run over here, and then they want to look out this window. Oh, here you can see my tin toys. So these are all very vintage toys. I just got this one, which is very Chinese, which I really like, and some of my kind of like fair ride toys that I like. It's hard to see. So I've got those at the window because I had no other space. Then I've got my Cabbage Patch Kids up here because they are the most durable, because sometimes the cats knock things over. I actually used to have my Pulip dolls up here, and it was terrible because Pulips are expensive and they kept falling, and because of the cats, and the cats sometimes sleeps here too. So I was like, I need a doll that, it's not that I don't love the Cabbage Patch dolls as much, but like, if they fall, they're not going to break. So, thank God. Okay, so then this is a really cool cabinet I got once. It actually has a light in it. I have all of my Blythe doll clothes in here, which is probably going to overflow soon. And then, so you guys have seen this if you've seen my 80s toy collection, but I did a lot of rearranging recently, and I bought a lot of new stuff. So, since like a year ago when I did those videos. So yeah, there's a lot of new stuff that I might show you later. Or maybe I'll just leave these doors open. So yeah, so like this is like, I mean, I love it. It's very crowded. I get upset when things are at the back and you can't see them. Like this is a Wrinkles elephant doll, and like this guy's head is very wide, so he kept blocking things. I finally was able to put him there. But like some of these, you can see how much space down here, like there is above their heads. These dolls could be higher. I need some kind of riser for them to sit on. And like this is like a cup head and you can barely see him. Anyways, I try to arrange it so that all the faces show at least. Because there's no point in having a collection if you can't see everything in the collection. That's, I feel very strongly about this. Anyway, so yeah, so the shelves are glass, and there is a light, but I just don't think that it's not plugged in right now. So yes, and I have some flowers. I have another Pulip doll, my Marie Antoinette Pulip doll up here, because she deserves everything. No, she deserves her own shelf. So there, she has her own shelf. Then I've got some kitties, some Japanese kitties. I don't know if these are called lucky kitties. Jesus, I should know what they're called. Anyways, I've got my Cupid dolls over here. Again, this is another place that the cats like to sit. So, I mean, these are rubber, and this one is like, I don't know, ceramic or whatever. So it's worrisome. These two do tend to fall down a lot, but so far nothing is broken. So there's that. And then I have my crown. This is my lamp. Okay. And then I've got my Care Bears. So these are all Care Bear cousins. Then I've got my Care Bears. So until very recently, my Rainbow Brights were here. But I had now too much of a Care Bear situation. So I'm hoping to put another shelf here and then have my Rainbow Brights there. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So let me see if I can turn without showing you anything I'm not supposed to show. Okay, here. And then, yeah, so these are my lovely, oh, you fell a little, my lovely Rainbow Bright collection. You guys, the blue one, oh my God, you will not believe how much I paid. And by which I mean very, very little. The person clearly did not know what they were selling and how much they sell on eBay. And yeah, so that's basically the whole room. I just wanted to show, you know, like how it's all set up. Because I know some people like to see that kind of thing. Maybe it'll give you ideas. I really like these, so I got these curtains. It's really just like pieces of, it's like ribbon and lace. And this girl makes these on Etsy. So, okay, I can close these doors again. Oh yeah, because on the outside of the door there is one more doll. This one is actually from my childhood, and you pull the string and he goes like that. Yeah, so I have a couple of other things on my desk, but nothing too exciting. And there you go. I'll just give you a last little tour. Try not to go too quickly. Like that. And then like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Put pictures in the comments. Can you put pictures in the comments of your doll rooms? And yeah, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked this, and peace out.